Now, there's a number of different search strategies you can employ when selecting the fields that you want to search in for your keywords. As I said, you could search in the title, you can search in the abstract, you can also search in the specification or the written description. Now, the title, of course, is short. The specification generally tends to be very long, many pages. So a word is far more likely to appear in the specification than it is in the title. So the problem is that you can use, for instance, the word toothbrush, because we're looking for patents relating to toothbrushes. It's possible that the word toothbrush could appear in the specification, that is a description of the patent, but yet the invention really doesn't have anything to do with toothbrushes. It just happens to mention the word toothbrush. However, if the word toothbrush appears in the title, then it's very likely that the patent has something to do with toothbrushes. But again, there's no law that says you have to use the word toothbrush or any particular word to describe an invention. So I tend to search in the abstract. However, it is important to use the title when you wish to narrow down specific patent field searches, because you don't want to spend a lot of time going after, wild gooses. So I tend to search in a combination of both the title and the abstract. So the type of search I would tend to do for this type of invention, I put in TTL for the title, I put in toothbrush, and then TTL, ABST for handle, because I'm looking for a toothbrush with a light in the LED, and then ABST/light. So we're looking for the word toothbrush in the title, the word handle in the abstract, and the word light in the abstract. Clicking on search, let's see what we get. And again, it can take a while with the US Patent Search tool, depending on how busy it is. Here we go, and we found 17 patents here. So let's take a look at the first one here. Illuminated toothbrush. Which provides a toothbrush having a handle portion. Handle portion have a plurality of bristles extending therefrom. Light source disposed within at least one handle portion. So this seems to be exactly what we're looking for. So we'll just take a look at image here to see what this thing actually looks like. And I actually think I bought one of these for one of my daughters. So that looks like that's the relevant patent that we're looking for. Let's just see what else we can see. Oh yes, and there's an LED over here. That looks like an LED to me. That looks like some kind of battery. So this looks like a very interesting reference. So I would say this is a relevant reference. So let's go back, and I'm going to show you a very useful trick. Okay, so this is the patent document that we found. When a patent application is filed, it's examined by the patent office. The patent office will conduct their own patent search, and then they will provide you with a list of all the references that they found. Well, very conveniently, they list those references that they found here in this document. If we just scroll down, here we have a list of all of the patents that they found which they thought were relevant. That's quite a list here. Now, if this is a relevant reference, these here might be relevant references as well. So here's a reference that dates back to 1980. Let's take a look at this reference here and see what it looks like. Okay, apparatus aid. Let's just take a look at the images, see what it is. That looks like it's some kind of light-powered device. Doesn't really look that useful. Let's take another reference here. Take a look. It's for a toothbrush, self-contained toothbrush, cap-shaped disposal base. Let's take a look at that. That looks interesting. Oh yes, there's some sort of suction cup on the bottom of it. That's not the feature we're looking for, so this is probably not as relevant a reference. Let's take another reference here. I'm just choosing these randomly. Dentition cleaning device and system. Now this is obviously for a toothbrush, but they've called it a dentition cleaning device. So as I said, there's no law that says you have to call a toothbrush a toothbrush. In this case, they're calling it this very long, complicated phrase here. But let's take a look at what this reference is about. Let's get to the drawings. And it's an interesting reference, but I don't think it's really what we're looking for. The point being that when you're doing a search, this ability of the U.S. Patent Office reference to kick up all these other references that they cited is a very useful tool. And included in here would be these references here, which are actually pending applications when the search was conducted. So these aren't even granted patent at the time. We can take a look at these as well. Here they are, power toothbrush. Ah, very interesting. So again, this is, I think, a very valuable trick, is to actually check out these references here, check them out one by one until you find the references that you're looking for. And of course, when you go to one of these references here, you'll find when you scroll that they too also list these references, which they thought were significant when they searched this patent.